An industry lobbyist under oath at a public hearing in California just called you a pirate for running a private Minecraft server. The exact same thing Microsoft hands you the software to do from the official website. So to give you a bit of background, this was part of the Protect Our Games hearing in California, and Jennifer Gibbons, who is the vice president of the ESA, which is the Electronic Software Association, has basically claimed that if you run a private Minecraft or Call of Duty server, you are effectively a pirate, and getting these servers is part of a black market operation, which is, of course, ridiculous. So let's just go down on what she actually said. Yes, in fact, we consider it piracy. We have lawsuits, 2 pending lawsuits against private servers right now. And the United States Trade Representative in their Notorious Markets report on counterfeiting and privacy has named some of these big private servers as a notorious market. Now, as we know, you can just jump on the Microsoft Minecraft website right now and just download your private server, right? So it's not like this is a hidden market somewhere in the dark web where you can just be a pirate to your heart's degree and steal off these poor corporations who are just losing bucket loads of money because people aren't paying for live service opportunities. You just get it free off the website right now today. So obviously the black market she's describing is a load of crock. Now, just to clarify, they did try walking this back a little bit after the hearing. They said private servers that host or distribute copyrighted game content without authorization infringe on the intellectual property rights of games publishers. So that is a bit more of a targeted clarification that they're making, because reading through various Reddit threads on this, where this topic came up just a few hours ago, the defense of it is that if you look at something like World of Warcraft and people running their own private servers on there, that could be considered a form of piracy, because World of Warcraft is a subscription service, and if you're hosting private servers, well, then you're never paying for access to their content. And look, fair enough, I understand that. But obviously games like Minecraft absolutely are not, and to have the vice president of the ESA stand up in the Californian hearing before state senators and not knowing this is, well, to say the least, a little bit ridiculous. So, all right, she didn't understand how Minecraft works, fair enough. But is this how the industry actually thinks about private ownership? And she's just said the quiet part out loud. So we all know that, and it's not the first time it's been alluded to, but in the minds of the industry, we don't really own our games, which is the whole point of the Stop Killing Games Act. We know that from what's happened with Ubisoft, CEO and live service people who are saying that you better get ready to get used to not owning your games. GTA 6, obviously, with the big controversy around giving you out a physical copy without a physical disc in it, so it's not really one. You order the box and you get a download and license key in it. How ridiculous! So this is just a bigger indication of what the industry thinks of gamers, what they think they should have control over, and what you basically should be able to own, which is nothing. Let's be honest here. So essentially, they're basically saying we're going to rent everything on their terms, and the moment we run it ourselves on our own terms, clearly theft. So this is the same logic behind everything that we've all been complaining about for quite some time now. So obviously, always online single-player games you paid for getting switched off after spending 50, 60 bucks on them, let alone the live service component, and then titles just being completely delisted and gone forever. So obviously, famous examples being The Crew and Anthem, but there's been plenty more of these. This is just the beginning. And of course, this is the whole reason the Stop Killing Games movement exists, and the California state is trying to introduce the Protect Our Games to stop studios from doing this, because if you as a consumer actually buy a product, you should have a right to own that product and play it on your own terms, even if it's just a digital copy. You've paid the money. When you bought it, you were under the presumption that you would own it. I mean, we've just seen this with the PlayStation Network as well, deleting something like 400 or 500 movies off there as well that people have paid for just because of a licensing change. That would obviously never happen if you owned a physical DVD, because people aren't going to come around to your house and saying, oh, you don't have a license for that, bruv. They're going to say, well, obviously you own it and you own it forever, which you don't when things are just digital copies. So essentially, this just looks like another step in the direction of an attempt to stop us owning things that we're actually paying for. So going back to the retrace statement where they walked it back a bit, I just want to highlight a couple of things here as well. So without authorization up here, this is obviously the whole point of this as well. So basically it quietly admits that authorized servers Minecraft, which are obviously fine, which is the exact opposite of we consider it piracy. So they also took swipe at the question saying that the committee mixed up community server and private server. So she got confused, but this is the vice president of the gaming industry lobby, should not be getting confused about something so trivial. But this kind of feels like they've made a mad scramble to retrace what they've said because they clearly weren't comfortable with it. So it seems like they've basically said what their true intention is out loud and trying to soften the blow for us so that we don't actually think about it too deeply of what they've actually said out loud. Now, as I did mention earlier, there's obviously illegal private servers, the bootleg WoW servers and cracked MMOs and all that sorts of stuff. So that is obviously an infringement and against the law, but I mean, feels like a bit of a bit for tat at the moment when they're saying that if you can buy stuff but just really only renting it, well then who are they to complain when we do our own private servers that aren't exactly going mainstream? It's just a few people enjoying a game, especially if they no longer are supporting games. They haven't given gamers the opportunity to have offline patches. There might be security vulnerabilities in some cases, some older COD versions. The list goes on. So if they're going to complain that it's piracy on a game that they don't even support anymore, don't even sell, I think that's a bit rich. But for me, in the quote at the start, I don't feel like this was a misquote. I feel like basically they've told the truth straight to our face, and then they've just realized what they've said isn't going to fly with us, and they've basically tried to walk it back. So the quote really wasn't the mistake. It was the fact that they've said it out loud and it's now out in the public domain. And as you can see on social media, specifically places like Reddit, people are not happy about this at all. So it just basically, I want people to understand, if you watch this video, that you essentially are owning less than you think you do. And the people in that hearing, they want to keep it that way. So running your own Minecraft server is where they draw the black market line. So just sit back and think of a minute how pretty crap that it really is for us. And this is the direction the industry is going in. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on the matter. If you want to learn more about the Protect Our Games Act, you can check out the video on screen at the moment. Otherwise, I'd love to hear your thoughts about how you feel about this whole scenario. To me, it's all a bit ridiculous, but if they want us to rent our games instead of own them, they should make that blatantly obvious, or we should be able to take them to task for it. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Right, bye for now.